I just released a sample pack. Hi, my name is Mateo. You may know me from this, or perhaps you don't know me at all, in which case, nice to meet you. Today I want to showcase my brand new sample pack, Evolution, which I just released to the world, and it's my very first one as well. So let's get to it. This pack is full of sounds for all. Heavy, liquid, glitchy basses, rich effects folder with sounds you can manipulate any which way, synth sounds, foley, glitches, vocals, and probably my favorite category of all, the pads. Soundscapes that are rich with atmosphere and cosmic, ethereal vibes. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Let's start with the drums. Now admittedly, I don't really know how to make drums, kicks and snares anyway, but there's still some useful stuff in here. Check these out. Got a clap, some snaps. I actually use these snaps all the time. And you got some shakers, shaker loop. And this little shaker sweep. It's panned from left to right. It's actually really useful. And you got some metal percussion. That kind of sounds like a sleigh bell. A little bit. And some scrapes. And some general Foley. These would be really good to layer with like drums to give it some extra texture. And then probably my favorite part, my favorite category of this folder is the metal hits. Listen to these. I feel like there's a lot you can do with these. One of which being you could reverse it, mess with it, add some effects, and make something like this. I made these DIY Mjolnir sounds out of these metal hits. You know, I reversed it like this. Then added some other effects, and boom, you got your own Thor hammer sound. I couldn't get my hands on the actual Marvel audio files, so I had to make my own. I think it works though. Imagine a hammer like returning to you with this sound. It's not perfect, but I think it's pretty good. For being made out of a water bottle, I just hit a knife onto it, recorded it. I think it's decent, but more on that folder later. Let's move on to the basses. Bunch of stuff here. And you got some long files here too. This one's 4 seconds. Like you can cut this up any way you want and use any part of it. This one particularly is great for stabs. You could just take like a small part and use that for like a stab if you're doing that sort of drop. And you got some one shots. Some stabs. And you got this cinematic trailer-esque bass stab loop. Definitely has movie trailer vibes. It's useful. If you know my EP evolution, you'll recognize these two basses and this one. They're very connected. This pack and that EP are very connected. They share a lot of the same sounds. Then I got some Reese's. Some thick Reese's, I should say. Love that. And I like this one. It's a very thick reset. It's nice. And I got some growls. Alright. And that's just a few of the sounds. Like, I'm just showcasing a few so you get the idea, but there's a whole arsenal here. So many you can choose from, cut up, manipulate, whatever you want. Lots of potential. Alright, the FX folder that I showed a moment ago. Got the Mjolnir sounds. I love these. It's kind of a last minute thing too, like I just made these a couple days ago. Last minute add to the pack. And then this riser, not to toot my own horn too much, but yeah, ever since I've made this riser, I've used it in every song. Like, I use this riser probably more than any other. Yeah, it's nice. And this random thing. Don't ask me what that is, because I have no idea. That's most of this folder is just random sounds that they sound cool and you could use them for a variety of things. Me personally, I use this for like transitions maybe. So yeah, that's majority of this FX folder is just random sounds that I've made like throughout the last couple months. And they have proven useful so far. Some classic sub drops. Then you got some impacts here. It's kind of bubbly, airy sound. I like this one because you can hear like these weird artifacts. I don't even know how this happened, but yeah, you can hear these weird artifacts like in the background. To me, it sounds like aliens, so I named it "What Is in the Sky," because I imagine this playing, just looking at the sky, hearing these like echo through the clouds. I don't know, I'm weird, but I thought that was cool. Some Marvel-esque Bram. Very cinematic. It sounds like a crystal shattering, hence the name Crystal Shatter. And this, I use this literally in every song. Like, if you listen to my music, you will find this in every song. Like, it's great for like breaks and a drop or transitions. It just really fills up space. And the classic low impact. And same with this, I use this in every song. Again, great for transitions, or you could take this piece. I'm gonna show you really quick, a little demonstration. Take that, take a bass. I think this is an E, so let's take that. No, repitch it however you need. right? Like it's great for layering with basses. Really gives it like some flavor and color. Like without it. With it. It works really well. So that's some of the effects folder. Again, there's more in the actual pack. I'm just showing bits and pieces so you get the idea. And here's some of the glitches folder. Some alien dialect, at least what I think an alien would sound like. Or more like a corrupt AI that's trying to speak but it can't. It's more of that. And here's this same sample, but colorized. And you got this super long file of just bleeps and bloops. You could cut that up you could use that so many different ways. I love this one. This is probably my favorite glitch out of the entire folder. It's very cool. Oh yeah. This was a kind of like a sound design jam I did. I think it was with Portal. And yeah, just listen. What the fuck? It's so weird. To me, it sounds like an alien like trying to talk, but it doesn't know our language, so it's just making these weird noises. Hence the name, trying to talk to an alien in a desolate ruin. Because that's what this reminds me of. It's so weird. But yeah, that turned out pretty cool, so I added it in the pack. Here's another pretty long file. I think that I did this. This was another like sound design jam with Lossy or Loss. One of those. Just more bleeps and bloops. Again, you can cut that up so many different ways, or you could probably even use this as a layer with a bass. Whatever you want. This is miscellaneous stuff. If you know my song Divergence from my EP, Evolution, you'll recognize this. I just thought it'd be fun to include that. I mean, you could probably find use out of this. Reverse it, take some artifacts. With the crystallizer, if you reverse it, you can get some like crystal shard type sounds. Like you hear those. Like there's definitely use for this. And you got a flute, also from Divergence. And I don't know how you would use this. I've never used it, but I thought it sounded kind of cool. I took my acoustic guitar. I don't know how to play guitar, really. But I just like did some plucks and recorded it. Yeah, so I thought I'd include that. Piano fill for my song Coda, the last song on my Evolution EP. And then this Piano Plong Bright Star. sounds like a bright star in the distance, I think. And it's from my song Evolve. And I don't know if you've heard of Mysteria, but it's a contact library. It's like a, I don't even know how to explain it, but yeah, listen to this. Like, yeah, you can create some very hellish nightmare sounds with that library. Yeah. So I thought I'd include that. Alright, the synths. This is an ARP loop from my song Divergence as well. Like I said, these two, this pack and that EP, are very connected. I got a bunch of like color stabs here. These are the stabs from my song Evolve. And these are colorful fillers, I call them. Basically, I took one of my songs and I reversed it, and then I chopped it up in different places. And doing that gives you very interesting results. It's just great for fillers if you need to fill a space in a drop. There's a bunch of those. How many are there in total? 10. 10 of those in this showcase. 1, 2, 3, 4. So those are cool. An ARP from my song Evolve. I manipulated this with manipulator, hence the name manipulated ARP. Yeah, manipulator is very fun to mess with. And you got more ARPs. Well, this is the same ARP, just more ethereal, dreamy, melodic. Reverse or use this tail for something. If you want. Another ARP. Hey, you can never go wrong with ARPs. And I got some trans-gated chords here. There was 4 different variations. Yes, you could cut those up, use them somehow. And here's some vocals. Some of them are from me that I just, manipulated, put some effects on. Some of them are from friends, and the others are like vocal chops, or this one, a manipulated choir. For my song Evolve. Very alien-y.
To the end.
so this is me saying those lines, and I, put a shitload of effects on them. Manipulator, vocoder, ring modulation, just a bunch of stuff. And this was the result. I actually made these for Muzz's remix competition for Born to Die. Or, what's that song called? Hold on. Muzz, Born for this. He put on a remix competition for this song. I entered. I made these vocals for it. I didn't win. Go figure. But yeah, since these never got put to use, I thought I'd put them in this pack. Maybe you can find use for them.
What is this place? Where am I? Presuming?
These are actually for an upcoming song, Secrets, but I thought I'd throw them in here because I'm not that bothered about it. But yeah, I thought this gave vibes of like someone trapped in a virtual space, and
what is this place?
they don't know where they are.
Where am I? Presuming?
They don't know if they can be seen or if they're even alive. I don't know, I thought they were cool.
Where am I?
Initiating lock sequence.
These are from a friend of mine, Miss Lena. I commissioned her to do some like one-liners, mostly for my Evolution EP, and she was kind enough to let me put them in the pack, and I obviously did some effects.
Initiating lock sequence.
If you know my song Synestia, you'll recognize this.
Initiating lock sequence.
Now rise.
This is me saying Now Rise with a bunch of effects, also in Synestia. It used it for like a pre-drop.
Now rise. Now rise.
And got some breaths. Because who doesn't love some breath sounds? Refreshing. Just like the Samplepack. Hey. And you got some vocal chops from my song Coda. Yeah, you could cut these up, repitch them, do whatever you want. Lots of uses. And some more from the same song Coda. So yeah, that's the vocals. Now the sound design jams. These are basically sessions I did. Like I would mess around for like 10-15 minutes and I would just edit in the whole thing. There's so many variations, like just so many uses you can get out of this. Like right there's a zap. Like that's useful. Yeah. So that's some phaser bass fun. Here's a squelchy bass jam that I did in Vital. I use this all the time. Like you can cut any part of this and turn it into like a growl. Or just a layer. That is some bubbly ass liquid bass right there. here's a resonator sound jam. That right there is like a stab, like a color stab if you wanted. So yeah, there's infinite possibilities just with this section alone, like the sound design jams. I recently got Morph and I did this with it. So good. So good. I use this one a lot. And some more Portal, Insanity. And some granular fun. So yeah, this section of the pack is one of my favorites because there's just so many uses. Like you can cut it up in any way you want and just get so many uses out of each area. It's great. And now my favorite part, the pads. Like I love these pads. I use them in every song. Like they breathe so much life into all of my songs. They really just add color and life, atmosphere. They like fill out the track. It's just so cinematic and ethereal, cosmic. And this pad, but pulse stretched, and I think I added some reverb, and listen. Like it transformed it completely. You know, it sounds like I named it Lost in an Ethereal Plane. Like that's what it sounds like. Like I'm just lost in an ethereal plane. You know, cosmic clouds all around me, stars, and I'm just standing there in the middle of it all. Yeah, very cool. For a lot of these pads, I actually took some of my songs and I would pulse stretch them, like the entire thing. I'd make it like 10 minutes long, and I would add reverb and like cut some frequencies. Basically, pulse stretch their song, and you can get some very nice pads out of them. This one, for instance, is my song Evolve pulse stretched with reverb added. Just listen to it. Also, pulse stretch is free, if I'm not mistaken. So if you're a producer, go get that. It is so good. Like, I use it all the time. Same thing here. This is divergence, and put in a pulse stretch, reverb added. Now let's step away from the cosmic ethereal vibes and just go straight into horror nightmares. Yeah. Some more horror nightmares. I got this bass drone with a shitload of distortion added, but it turned out super cool. You could like layer this with this, for example. Yeah, so that's cool. And that's the Unbound series. Basically, I rescored. I can show you real quick. I rescored something. Yeah, right here for Vocalese 3. For the load. Yeah. Right, I made a whole orchestral piece, and then what do you know, surprise, surprise, Paul stretched it, and it made this series of pads, and they're very cinematic, so I just made it its own series, the Unbound series. Just so cinematic. Listen to that. It's crazy. That's all from one song. It's not even that long either. A minute long is how long the rescore was. And out of 1 minute, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's not all of them. Oh no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pads out of one song. It's all Paul stretch and reverb, and I think like some crystallizer. But yeah, the Unbound series, very cinematic, just cinematic pads. And yeah, some of these pad files are over a minute long. And the reason this is my favorite section of the pack is because you can just take this, any pad, I don't know, we'll choose, which one? Let's take this one, sure. You can take a pad, layer it with a bass, any bass. We'll take, this one, sure. Take any part of the pad. And just layer it with your bass. And it just adds a lot of color and life. And yeah, I do that. Pretty much every song, I layer pads with my basses. Yeah, no, you get the point. It just adds a lot of flavor and life to my songs, and it can to yours as well. Now you may be like,
Mateo, that's cool and all, but why do I need this?
well, let's hear it in action. This is a short whip that I started. Every sound in this project is from my sample pack, minus the drums, these chords, and then these vocals. But every sound you see here, like these and all these, it's all from my sample pack. So this is what it can do. Check it out. And that's what I mean when I say, like, you can take whatever, cut it up, and use it however you want. Like, this whole project is mostly made out of this. Like these 4 samples and then this. And I cut it up, I place it however I need with some filters to give it the movement. And just put it all together. And then this is why I say the pad section of my pack is my favorite, because you can layer it with any bass and it works pretty much every time. Right? Like, it just adds color and life and presence. Like, without it. With it. So yeah, that's one example. Not convinced? Okay, let's check another one. This utilizes the sound design jams that I showed. This one is from the granular mess. So you stretch it out, find a section in this long file, and you can do whatever you want with it. In this case, I found this little section here. And I was like, that could be something. And this is what I did with it. Again, this entire project is my sample pack. Like, it's from my sample pack minus these drums. So listen to this. That's why the sound design jams are also some of my favorite parts of the pack, because you can just find any random part from one of the long files and you can get some magic out of it. Like, there is a bunch of effects added to this. I mean, you can see all these without him. It's pretty lifeless. But yeah, add your effects however you see fit, and you can turn it into whatever you want. Also, remember when I mentioned this sample, I use it all the time for breaks in a drop or a transition. Well, this is why. Like, it just works so well. All those whips are gonna be released, by the way. So yeah, that's the pack. I hope this little showcase has convinced you that it's worth your money, because it's improved my workflow so much, and I know it'll improve yours as well. I actually started this pack as something just for me to improve my workflow. Like, I didn't intend to share it with anyone, but then I thought, why not share it with the world? Share it with you. You can grab this right now. The link to the Gumroad page will be in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you do pick this up, thank you so much. Like, besides streaming and buying my music, this is the best way to support me. So, thank you, really. And before I go, I just want to say I have a lot planned for 2023. So much music to be released, and my best songs yet. So keep an eye out for that. And until then, have a good one.